Well, welcome back to Life by the Bow. Beautiful fall morning here. It's probably about 70 degrees, a little breezy. It feels amazing. I'm going to teach you guys how to do some inshore fishing today, because especially, once we get closer to the winter, we start getting these really windy days where it's real difficult to get offshore. I'm going to show you guys how to tuck behind the mangroves, catch some snappers, some snook, tarpon. You never really know what we're going to get into back there, but we're going to start off by trying to find some live bait. We're looking for them on the transducer here, and as soon as we find them, we're throwing the net. We're going to get going. Whole lot of nothing, baby. I don't get them every time. So even though I didn't get any pilchards on that throw, I stirred up all the sediment off the bottom. And what's actually happening now is the pilchards are coming up to the sediment and eating whatever is inside of that sediment. So we're essentially chumming them at this point. So I'm gonna keep on shaking this net to chum them up. And I'm gonna throw out some blue box chum and see if I can chum them up rather than trying to hunt them down. What I'm gonna do now is I'm actually gonna switch nets. I was originally using a 3/8 inch mesh, which is what I chose because I was seeing really big pilchards on the transducer, but I'm seeing much smaller ones now. So in order for me to avoid a Christmas tree, they call it, which is basically when all the baits get stuck in the net, we decided to downsize the mesh. And we should be able to do a blackout right here. That was a good one. Oh, that's how you start the day right there, guys. Every good day in the fall starts with a full live well. All right, so pretty good morning so far. Pretty happy with the way that things have turned out. Right now we're in Tavernier Creek, and in this portion of the upper Florida Keys, we're basically in the Isla Mirada area. This is how we cut through from the ocean side over into the bay side. We're eventually going to end up in Everglades National Park. And basically, once you go about a mile out into the bay, you are in Everglades National Park. So there's an intercoastal waterway that goes all the way down the Florida Keys. On the north side of the intercoastal waterway is Everglades National Park. So before you enter the park, basically you have to buy a park pass. I'll put the link to that down in the video description below. So that way when you guys are coming back here, you make sure you're legal. So that's a big thing to keep in mind. I got a good feeling about this spot. I'm gonna try to find ourselves a bigger size pilchard. Honestly, these are like the perfect size for inshore, but we're just gonna take that hook, go through the bottom lip, out through the top. That's how he's gonna stay on that hook as best as possible. Loop knot, about a 25-pound leader to start, trying to keep it light. We have our 7-foot Avail rod right here, got some 30-pound braid on there, 5500 Penn slammer. And we're just gonna send that bait back in the current, and we've already got picked up that quick. I'll take that. Just getting started, baby. That is awesome. And check that out. Mangrove snapper to start the morning. Easily a legal size one right there. We're gonna go ahead and give ourselves a little good karma, release him, see what else we can catch. Right here, there's actually 2 little coves, and these are actually creeks that lead to the other side of the mangrove shoreline. So a lot of the times, the mangrove snappers like to sit up in there because there's no current they have to fight against. And then when a bait comes, like we just threw at them, they come and eat it. Now that's a nicer one right there. All right, we'll go ahead and keep him. So something that's really cool about the mangrove snapper is this fish is basically just about as big, if not bigger, than a legal size yellowtail, which you're gonna catch on the edge of the reef. But the advantage to catching this fish because we're not offshore getting beat up in all of this wind. And we're gonna get just as much meat as a yellowtail, and we're not rocking and rolling. So you have family members that get seasick, this is honestly the perfect thing to do on a windy day. Of course, something that never hurts too. It's a little live chum. Get the fish fired up. Next legal size mangrove snapper we catch, we're keeping. And that would be that one right there. Oh, that's actually a barracuda. Little variety pack right there, how about that? So basically the name of the game here is we're just set up in this channel, and the reason why I'm here specifically is because there's moving water. Wherever you can find moving water, it's obviously going to be pushing through a lot of bait, and then that's when fish like mangrove snappers, snook, tarpon, redfish, they'll stage up in these areas and just wait for the bait to get pushed through with the current. This is the kind of stuff that I like to fish. Typically deeper water, sometimes can mean bigger fish too, but we're gonna keep on picking away at it. See if we can get our big mangrove snapper here. There we go, he just got it. That's pretty awesome. That's another one for dinner. I'll take it. That's beautiful. There we go. So once you get into the back country here, you get beaches, and that's actually something that's really significant because we don't get that in the Florida Keys. We're actually at the southernmost point of Florida before you hit the Florida Keys. This is actually called East Cape, but we stopped here for a little lunch break, and today me and the camera crew are eating what's called Factor. But basically we were running out of time today, and I forgot to get lunch for everyone on the boat today. So I pulled a bunch of Factor meals out of the fridge. Factor is also a sponsor here on Life by the Bow, so they actually pay us to talk about these meals, which is pretty cool. Poke a couple holes in the top, stick it in the microwave for 2 minutes. Coincidentally, they have 2 times as many seafood options. You can get things like salmon, shrimp. They also have double the amount of protein-based meals, which is significant too, where you can get beef fillets, you can get meatballs, turkey, so on and so forth. If this is something that you guys think that you'd be interested in, Factor is actually offering you guys 50% off and free breakfast for a year. Just go to factor75.com, use code LifeByTheBow FB50. It's LifeByTheBow FB50, factor75.com. Free breakfast for a year and 50% off. So after we eat, we're gonna keep on moving, see if we can catch a couple more fish, but this is definitely not a bad spot to enjoy lunch here. So this is about as good as it gets right here, guys. Completely protected from the wind, no rocking and rolling. And I'm actually standing on top of the seat portion of the tower here. And I have about 2 stories of elevation. And with the water being as clear as it is right now, basically we're just going down this shoreline, and I'm just trying to see if I see anything. And once we find something, start throwing out some live baits and see what we can pull out. Got something. Tarpon, got a tarpon. Oh, I just pulled the hook on him. That sucks. Well, hey, that's fishing right there. That's a tarpon. Got one, baby. Woo! Just jumped him off just like that. All right, I think we about put this spot through the ringer. So we just made a pretty big move here. These spots can also be very hit or miss. So it's all about just trying new areas and just looking for things that look fishy. Right now we're on top of a flat, and then as we get closer towards the island, it drops off into a channel. So a lot of times snook, redfish, mangrove snapper like to sit inside of there, very similar to where we were fishing this morning. Now what we're gonna do is grab a pilchard. Gonna go through the bottom lip out through the top, just like that. Got a little loop knot there, and that's just to basically give that bait more action. The the line will actually lay down the body of the fish, so it doesn't restrain him as much. Oh, I got something, but I'm caught in the mangroves. Oh, mangrove snapper. Well, now you know why they call him a mangrove snapper. There we go. All right. Real life demonstration. Oh, look, the sharks are going after him. That's crazy. The sharks are way too small for him. What are you guys thinking? When they say that we have a shark problem, they are not messing around. Even the baby ones are aggressive. They're just here circling the boat. They're not even afraid of it. I remember years ago when I used to come back here fishing, you get near one of these sharks, they'd spook off. They're evolving to not be afraid of boats or humans. But we're gonna throw him back up in the mangroves. It's better that he hits the mangroves than get eaten by these sharks right here. So we're tying on a fresh 25-pound fluorocarbon leader here. And the knot that we use, and really the knot that I use in most cases down here in the Keys, whether it's backcountry, offshore, is what's called an FG knot. Basically, I'm just gonna take off those tag ends with our Avail pliers right there. And if you look at that knot, it's extremely streamlined. So there's nothing for the actual knot to get caught up on inside of these guides. So when we're doing a lot of casting here in the mangroves, or we're casting to tarpon, mahi, tunas, whatever it may be, there's nothing for that knot to hang up on. And this is probably one of the strongest knots that you can tie when it comes to a line to leader connection. 10-pound braid, little 2500 size reel right there, really light inshore rod. So since it's shallow here, the fish aren't as big, we can downsize things to make it a little easier to cast, because we're gonna have to be doing a lot of that in order to pull the fish out of these mangroves. Jack. Knew it felt like a bigger fish. I think there's a shark under the boat. Oh, it's a tarpon trying to eat him. Look at the shark. There's a tarpon going after him, and there's a shark right here too. Oh my gosh. That's why you don't go swimming back here, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing safe out here. All right, guys, well, we're literally right back where we started this morning. But you know, it's always the buzzer beater. And I'm pretty sure I just got picked up by a tarpon. Yep, I sure did. What do you know, baby? Let's go. Just like that, guys. We've been fishing so hard to just catch a snook, tarpon, something today, man. This fish is no dummy. That's a nice one right there. Tell you what, we got the heat on him, baby. We got the 30 to 50, 40-pound leader. He couldn't have made that any easier for us. But fishing is life, guys. You know, you keep on trying and trying, and some days it just doesn't work out. But you just keep on keeping on. And eventually, trial and error turns into success. And that's exactly what this day has been so far. We got exactly what we've been fishing for all day. Gotta love it. Hooked perfectly, check that out. Just gonna remove the hook just like that. He's nice and lively, and he's gone. Some days the fish just aren't biting, you know, and we made that one opportunity count at the end of the day, got our tarpon, but like I said, we put in our time to go home. But appreciate you guys watching. Definitely a fun day. Till then, I'll see you guys.